Welcome back to Triple G Sports Replays. This video, we're going to continue our 2020 Masters Tournament. And we're going to show it's day 3. Our leader is Collin Morikawa at a -4. Rory McIlroy's right behind him, -3. Matthew Fitzpatrick is even. Schaufel is at a +1. And Justin Thomas +3. And you're going to see 3 of those 5 playing today. And we're going to have a Tony Finau showing in, but he's went from a leader on day 2 to now he's way behind. He's actually at a +9. He's had a horrible day. So it's day 3. We're going to show you holes 13 and 12. And so hole 13, we're going to have Justin Thomas and Tony Finau. 13 is a par 5, 510 yards. There is no wind effect. We're playing normal conditions today. Looking at the hole number 13's got a handicap of 6. One of the harder holes. But we're going to play smart. We're going to try to get there and just get close in 3. Chip it on for... we're going to try to basically get here in 2, get on in 3, 2-putt, get our par and get out of here. If we're lucky, we'll get a birdie. So Justin Thomas has the honors because he birdied the last hole and he has a bounce back left. So with that birdie, he has a momentum, hasn't used any of them. So let's see if this is a spot to where, what can we do with his different clubs as far as getting a decent shot. So he's got a 3 on his wood. And so a 3 is always going to go left. So if we were to use his driver as is, where would we end up? Well, it's going to go 270. So that's going to put us, here's the 200. And when we look at the dog leg, it's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it's actually for every 5, you're going to go down 2. So if we got to go to 70, here's 25 down 2, 50 down 2, 55, 60, 65, 70. We got to go down at least 1 in that stretch. It's going to go left 15, 5, 10, 15. And he would get a roll of 30, which here's 5. We use up our another move. And we would go another 25, 1, 2. He would end up here in the trees. So we don't want to use that. Let's look at a 3 wood. So a 3 wood for him would go 255. So we're still here on the center. There's 25 down 2. Here's 50 down 2, 55. It would kick back left 10, 5, 10. And it would roll another 25. Well, another 25 here. There, boom, boom. So we're in the rough. We're barely under a branch. It isn't going to bother us going this way. We want as much distance as we can get. We could maybe take a 3 wood, but we're going to be back here more. We're going to take our chances and just say, you know what, we'll take that as a tee shot, even if we are hitting out of the rough. I'd rather have a little more distance. So we're going to use a momentum shot for him. We're going to say it was the 3 wood, and we're going to end up at 280. And we're going to be right 40 or 20. 4 squares is 20. We did not get a fair. We were right. We're just off into intermediate rough. Now, Tony Finau is also a 3, but he had par last time. He has struggled. He is what, 9 over on the day, 7 over on the tournament. And so I think what we'll do for him is we got to play it a little safer. We need to land it in here, try to get the second shot here and get it in. So we don't have the ability to try to hit through these narrows like a perfect shot on wood. So we want to end up in that 200-yard range. So we're going to sacrifice distance for a good shot. And for him, A 4-iron would end up about 210. So we're going to use a 4-iron for Finau and just try to play conservative. A 46 is a 32. That's going to go 200. It's going to go right 10, 5, 10. Going to roll 10, 5, 10. So he's going to be at 205, right 10. And that is a fairway in regulation. That's a fairway hit. So now we need to go this direction. So what we're going to do is we're going to put him back here on the center line. And how far could he go hitting his 3-wood? Knowing that momentum's going to carry us out here where we shouldn't have to worry about the water. And actually, if we're over here far enough, maybe we can have a decent approach shot from this direction. So for Finau on a 3, his wood would go 255 yards. Now on the dog leg on this side, it's 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So every 3 is a 1. So we're going to go be 25, 50. That'd be 75. And 100. 125, 150, 175, 2. About 225-ish. We'll bring him out here. That's probably a little too long. Let's see, where would that put us? It would be 25, 50, 75. Here's 1, 105, 110, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, 60, 65, 70, 75, 80, 85, 90, 95, 2, 205, 210, 215, 220, 225, 230, 235, 240, 245, 250, 255. And we're going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 50 yards to the right. There's no way he can get to the water. So we're going to run with that. We're going to go and hit a 3-wood again. And this way we don't have to worry about water. We want to avoid water at all costs. So a 54 is going to be a 24. So we're going to go 240. 25, 50, 75. Here's 1, 15, 110, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, 60, 65, 70, 75, 80, 85, 90, 95, 200, 25, 210, 215, 220, 225, 230, 235, 240, 245. And we said 240, so back once we're right here. It's going to go right 40. Okay, 5, 10, 15, 20. Hang on, 5, 10, 15. We got to bring it. We got to reflect these. So 5, 10, 15 back, 20, 25, 30 back, 35, 40. And then we're going to get a roll of 25. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. We're way over here, but we're safe. Yeah, it's a long ways, but we're not in anywhere near the water. So he's going to end up at 460. Let's see here. 3-wood, 460. And how far right are we? 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, 60, 65, 70, 75, 80, 85 right. I'd rather be here than in the water. All right, so now we got Justin Thomas. We're far enough along here that we can just figure playing off of this line. And so we're going to go 1, 2, 3, and back. And that's going to put him about right in line with where this should be. So to get up here, 25, 50, 75, 1, 25, 50, 175-ish, maybe a shade more. We got to now respect the water on the right though. And so Thomas is a 2 on his iron. And so we're probably going to use a 7 iron for him. Now, 7 iron, that'll put him about 170. 25, 50, 75, 25 to 75 with maybe a little roll. But if we're up in here, we can only go 5, 10, 15, and then there's trouble. So for him, the worst case scenario is a 25, 27, and he's got a 25. He could go 25 to the left. We know we want to go no more than 15, so we're going to aim to right 10. So the worst case is we end up right in the rough along there. So first off, we need to double check he was in the intermediate rough. Let's verify what the rough does. A 53 is going to be a flyer. And how about his position? That's fine. He's got a scramble. Actually, he's got a scramble of 2. So his 53 becomes a 51. So he's against the grass. So we're going to play it loose 5 yards on the carry and play it like it's in the fairway. All right, so that's what we'll do. And we're going to hit a 7 iron. All right, so 7 iron. 40, and we're actually going to work the ball right 10. A 46 is a 24. And it says hole plus dice roll. So if we were actually going on the green as a destination, which we're not, we're laying up here. If we were actually going for here, we would take the hole, roll 2 dice, and that's where we'd be. Since we're not going for that, we have, you know, we're going here. What we're going to do is we're going to say, okay, it's a best shot. He's a 2 on his irons. It's a 2. That's how we'll play it. So a 2 is going to go 175, 25, 50, 75, 1, 25, 50, 75. It's going to go right 5. Now we want to work the ball right 10. He's an A for working right. A 52 will be a 26. And it's going to be minus 10. So we want to go right 10. It's a negative. We stay right here. And we get a 5 roll. So here we are, 455, right 5. And we are in good shape to pitch it on green regulation and have 2 putts. So now we got to deal with Finau. And so Finau, when I look at how this thing diagonals, we should actually move him this direction and go center line this way. So let's see, how far are we going to be? We're going to go 1, 2, 3 and back, 1, 2, 3 and back, 1, 2, 3 and back, 1, 2, 3 is going to put him right in line with the cup. Let's leave him short 1. Now, how many yards is it to the center? We're going to be, so we're aiming right here. It's going to be 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, 60, 65, 70, 75, 80, 85, 90, 95, 100-yard shot on the approach. And since it's 100 or less, we can call our spot. We're going to call our spot right here. Because if we went over 1 more, we'd have to go back 1, and then we got to use a club. So we're going to say we're shooting for this hole right, this spot right there. We're going for pin 1. We're going to try to hit it here and take advantage of the game rule, basically. All right, so Finau is a approach. A 23 is a 3. And that's going to be a 0 with no left or right. So he lands it right here. 20 feet minus 9, 11 feet from the cup on his approach. So he hits green in regulation, and he's got an 11-foot putt for birdie. Now we're going to deal with Justin Thomas. And for Justin, we could go for the pin. We're just going to bring it right back to center. We're going to try to aim right here. So what's that? That's 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, 60, 65 yards. So we're going to try a 65-yard approach for him. And his approach, he's pretty good at approaches. 15 is a 1. And that's going to be minus 5, left 5. So it's going to be minus 5, left 5. He's 1 line away. That's 15 feet, minus 3, 11 feet. So green in regulation, which is only his second of the round. And so we got 2 putters on the green going 11-foot putts. It's for birdie. We're going for it on both cases. So Finau's going to go first. An 11-foot birdie putt. He rolls a 25, which is a 14. And a 14 is in. So he 1-putts for birdie, and boy, did he need that birdie. He hasn't had one all day. Plus 4 on the hole. Excuse me. 4, he's going to be plus 8 on the day, plus 6 on the tournament with a 59. Justin Thomas, he's going for it from 11-footer for birdie. 14 is a 14. And we know that's in. 1 putt for birdie. 2 birdies in a row. He's plus 2 on the day, plus 2 on the tournament. All right. Now let's go to our leader. We're going to hole number 12. Hole number 12 is a par 3, 155 yards. It's handicap a 6. The only modifiers are going to be if you're short and not in the bunker, it's going backwards. And we have on hole number 12, we have a little bit of wind. We got a crosswind that's plus 5 right. So we got to remember that. So we're going to have Collin Morikawa, who's the tournament leader, Matt Fitzpatrick, 4 shots back in 3rd place. Looks like Morikawa gets the honors because he parred the last hole. Fitzpatrick had a bogey, but he has his bounce back, so he might get a shot at a good tee shot. So first off, for Morikawa, we are going for pin number 1. So it's going to be 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, 60, 165. We know crosswind right's going to push us 5 no matter what. Morikawa is pretty darn good with his irons. There's a lot of 3s, 4s, 5s. There's not much else. So he doesn't have a lot of length, but he hits them straight. That's going to be helpful on this. So we said 165, 35, 45, 165. And he's a 4-iron rating. And that would be a 7-iron. So we're going to use a 7-iron. And we sure don't want to be short. And luckily he doesn't have a lot of wayward shots. So let's see what we can do here. A 52 is, and then I say that we get a 27. So it's going to go 160, which we know is going to be 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, 60. It's going to go left 25, but we have a crosswind right, so it's going to go left 20, 5, 10, 15, 20, and a roll of 5. It's going to put it right in here under the tree. So we are at 165, left 20, and that's going to be his approach shot. All right, now for Fitzpatrick. He has the ability to use a bounce back, but should we? So for him, with a 5-iron rating, let's see here. he's going to be kind of between clubs. If we did a 7-iron, he would go 160. See, we said he was a rating of 5. 160, left 5, cross 1, back 5 is even, and no roll, he'd be right here, and we'd be 20, 35 feet away. If we did a 7-iron as a knockdown, he's 165, which is here. Left 5, cross 1 to 5 is a wash. Roll 5, and he goes off the green. And we're just going to be happy to be on the green and putting. So we're going to use one of his bounce backs. We're going to use the 7-iron, and a 5 would give him 160, which is here. Left 5, right 5 is a wash, and no roll on the green. And we'll take our 20, our 35 minus 5. We'll take our 30-foot putt. And take our green and regulation. On a par 3, the goal is to get out with 3. Pars are good. Okay, so now we've got Collin Morikawa. Now his approaches are pretty good. Doesn't have a lot of sideways stuff, but we got to be careful because it's 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30 feet. A 30-foot approach from the rough. And so I think what we're going to do is we're going to say 25 feet. Yeah, let's go for it. He can only get hurt if we go long 10 left. So he's going to go for the pin out of the rough. And let's see how he can do. Anyone else, I would probably go back here. But when you look at his approaches, there's a lot of small numbers. So we're just going to go for it. 21 is a 5. Minus 5, left or right 5. So we're going to be minus 5, left or right 5. We'll say we're going here. And that's going to put us at 20 feet. Minus 5 is 15 feet on the approach. So we're on with a 15-footer for par. So let's start with Fitzpatrick. He has a 30-footer. And let's see, 30-footer. I mean, it's got to be a 1, 2, 3. If we go for it, a 4, 5, 6. And there's one chance out of it. So we're just going to play it safe. We want to get our par and get out of here. A 46 is a 26. So a 30-footer is going to be 3 feet. He's 3 feet short. But he's putting for par. Now we've got Collin Morikawa. He's 15 feet. He needs it for par. And that's an 11, 12, 13 on the card is the extra ones. There's a 12. There's an 11. He's got a 2 in 36, a 1 in 18 chance. But he's got some smaller numbers. If we miss, we're not missing by much. He's going to go for it. A 25 is a 22. And a 15-footer as he goes by 3 feet. If we'd have played it safe, it'd have been 1 foot. All right, Fitzpatrick for par from 3 feet. 23 is a 21. That's in 2 putts. Par 3 over on the day, even on the tournament. And Morikawa, a 3-footer for bogey. 24 is a 28. That is barely in. That thing lips around, but he gets it in. So 2 putts for a bogey. He's going to be even on the day, 3 under on the tournament, and he is now tied with Rory McIlroy going into the end of the day, both of them at -3 on the tournament. And that's our video for today. Thanks for following along. If you like what you see, please hit like and subscribe. If you have any comments, please leave them. And I want to thank you once again for watching Triple G Sports Replays.